The Biden campaign tonight arguing what really matters won't come from the Beltway, but the Rust Belt and beyond.
When he says he's in and he's running, I believe him, and I believe he's going to do a good job.
I'm still feeling good about Joe Biden. There is no other alternative.
No other alternative. I'm feeling so good about him. How can you feel so good about him if there's no other alternative? Like, that's just it. I mean, even if you didn't feel good about him, I guess it wouldn't be an option. That's the way it's sounding out of this guy. Doesn't sound like a very enthusiastic voter, but you know, they got us all afraid right now. But let's go on. Let's see what these other voters are feeling.
I think Joe Biden, you know, if he is slower these days, at least he's honest.
His campaign pointing to support on the ground, with one senior advisor telling NBC News their grassroots fundraising saw its best start to any month this month, post-debate.
I'm getting so frustrated by the elite in the party who say they know so much more. But any of these guys, I don't think I should run against me.
They tried. Remember? That's called the Democratic primary that you guys altered or stopped or stifled or whatever you did. So don't be acting like no one wanted to run against you.
But while new polling shows the race still very close, it's former President Trump leading narrowly in 5 of 7 key battlegrounds, mostly inside the margin of error. And in Pennsylvania, Mr. Trump has a slightly larger lead after the president flipped that state 4 years ago.
I just don't think that we can deal with his health, and it's no fault of his own.
I don't know what I'm up there if he's not confident.
The Trump campaign has sought to make inroads with black voters, by no means a monolith, but the coalition that helped propel President Biden to the White House 4 years ago may be the same one that helps keep him on the ticket now.
If he promises them something and delivers it. Because ain't no more free voting coming out of the black bloc, or whatever you want to call them. Because he's taking advantage of black votes, and we need to stop it. We need to put an end to it immediately. And Kamala's on board with the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party is on board with the Republican Party in both of their anti-black agendas. If both of them are anti-black and we have to vote for somebody, then it'll just be by default or whatever. But it won't be because they're giving us anything. And we need to make them do something for us, or the votes got to be stopped. We got to quit with this civil rights talk that votes matter and all that. Say, don't matter if you can't use your vote to get your race a leg up. When you came from slavery and other people are coming in as immigrants and you're on the same page they are. Here we are 400 years later, and we're in line with people who just arrived here a few months ago. So that's not going to cut it. The anti-black policies have got to go away. That's the agenda of the United States as far as I'm concerned. And they just wait until anything happens, and it always will. That will push us back a step or two so that they could say, hey, we'd like to give you reparations, or we'd like to get that study going, but we can't right now because, you know, we got some other crisis going on.
Stand with the president at this point in time, and just see
Black voters and union workers critical to the Democratic base. The head of the influential Congressional Black Caucus today rallying behind the president, who's set to meet with members of the group virtually tonight, according to multiple sources.
Why wouldn't the Black Congressional Conference, the Democrats, period, just tell Joe Biden, if you want that black vote, offer them something. Give them something that they never gotten before that's going to give them a leg up and close the wealth gap. They won't say that because they know he won't go for it, and it just is a non-starter. They have to ask for things that are acts and laws and rules that relieve some of the pain that they've caused us, which is good, and we do need those things, but our primary goal should be economics. Our primary goal should be medical. Our primary goal should be education. Those are the 3 things we need to be concentrating on, and not whatever the heck Joe Biden is trying to give us, which is probably nothing, or a statue or something, or another vice president who's black. We don't want any of that stuff. We want something that regular black people can feel. And that's just how it's going to have to be, you guys. I mean, it don't make no sense. Look at these folks. They sound real enthusiastic, don't they? They're scared. They're afraid because the Democratic Party has scared everybody against Donald Trump. Donald Trump is Frankenstein. So everybody's so afraid that if he takes over, the world's going to be different. But we have to calm down, take deep breaths, drink cold water, and remember, Donald Trump was our president for 4 years, and we're still here. So with that, let's move on. See what else they got to say to us.
They're visiting a black church in Philadelphia on Sunday and a union office in Harrisburg.
And just real quick, guys, does he go to black churches, or does he go to unions, or does he go to see the black people on great platforms that support him when he's not running for office? I mean, does he go by and say, hey guys, I just came to check in with you and let you know what we talked about during the campaign, and this is how it's going? That ain't gonna happen, because he ain't working on anything for us, and we know it, and we keep letting it happen. We are causing our own demise, or definitely contributing to it by not fighting. Because if you don't fight, then you know where this is heading, and it's heading there. And if you guys don't see it, open up. It's happening every day.
Next week, set to head to the NAACP convention.
You look at those constituencies.
And he's so brave to go talk to NAACP, Congressional Black Caucus, all these black-led organizations, black groups who are representing us, and he has no problem talking to them and addressing them, because none of them will ever talk to a Republican. It's either the Democrats or that's it. And I don't think we should put all of our eggs in one basket when we're talking about our livelihoods and our place in this country. It needs to be a two-party answer, because both parties held us as slaves. And we need to have both parties involved on righting the ship, getting us where we need to be in this society, so we won't be in line all the time getting free bags of groceries, or getting some kind of financial aid, or any of that kind of stuff. You can actually fix it where we can stand on our own 2 feet. But we are going to need you guys to do us a really, really big favor and just leave us alone. You got to leave us alone. You got to give us the opportunity and just get back out of the way. Don't video retape it. Don't record it. Don't commentate on it. Don't interview us. Leave us alone. Treat us like you're treating the Democratic Party right now when it comes to asking them and pinning them down on their agenda for black people. Because right now, the Democratic Party has an agenda for black people, and that agenda is for poor people. Whatever they want for poor people, they just lump us in there with them. And we have a very unique circumstance than just your average poor person. We're not just regular poor people, although as a group we are, but it's not because of our own doing. So with that, let's go back into this tape, see where they are. I just get kind of going on Biden sometimes, guys, and it's hard for me to just sit there and listen to a guy say what a dishonest guy his opponent is, when he's just as dishonest. When he talks about how racist Donald Trump is, and he's just as racist. And I'm not saying Trump ain't a liar, and I ain't saying he ain't done any of that other stuff, but I think that he's probably more apt to come to the table and really listen to what we got to say and respond with something that he might be willing to do for us. And then it can be a true negotiation. And then when we walk away, whether we feel we got a lot or a little, at least it will be in the form of a negotiation. And then we can move forward. It will give us a foundation to build on. But as long as we're doing the stuff we're doing now, which is not negotiating, voting wholeheartedly for one party and praying that they do something for us once they get in. They really want us to believe that the only reason we're not back in slavery is because of them, but that's not the truth. It just gives you the false sense of protection that isn't really there. They're not doing anything for us, and our black leaders aren't either. I don't know who they're fighting for or why they've accepted this policy that the White House seems to go on, where the poor people in this country will qualify for things. Therefore, by default, black people will qualify, and that's not the way it's going to work. We want exclusiveness, or whatever that word is. You know what I'm talking about. And that's what we need. Back to the tape.
They're doubling down in their effort to elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Do you think that will be enough to keep the president on this ticket?
The president said he's not going anywhere.
The president's decision now, the voters' decision in November. Hallie Jackson, NBC News.
This is what we're dealing with, you guys. We're dealing with a Democratic Party who doesn't respect us. They look at us as just what we are, a vote, and nothing more. And as long as we allow them to be that way toward us, they're going to be that way toward us. They are not going to turn around and just out the kindness of their heart. Our black leaders aren't asking them to do anything. Do you ever hear the people on MSNBC or on CNN, or some of the liberals who go on Fox? Do you ever hear them pushing real hard for reparations and just letting everybody know that is it? Not child mortality, not abortions, not jaywalking, not spitting on the sidewalk, not shoplifting. None of that's drug use, nothing. Our economic place in this country is the most important thing that we need to deal with, and everything else will straighten itself out. But because these things are intentionally being held from us, then the time has come when they need to just relinquish that power, relinquish that spot, and allow us to get to our rightful place in this country where we deserve to be. And with that, I'll see you guys on the next episode of Black Popcorn. Please subscribe, like, support, comment, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.